In the ever-evolving, vibrant landscape of electronic dance music, there are names that blend into the background, and then there are those that demand attention. Resonating with unparalleled energy and charisma, the name Ashley Pole is unmistakably in the latter category. This month, as we delve into the tapestry of dance music, Ashley Pole emerges as the beacon, casting an illuminating glow with her latest masterpiece, Bingo Baby. And Ashley joins me now to tell us all about it. How are you doing, Ashley?
Thank you. Illuminate me.
Love it.
Okay.
Absolutely love it.
The Bingo Baby was this incredible experience. Went to Liverpool for the day to meet with Richie Neville, who is such a talent, such an amazing songwriter. I'd never written with him before, and he's so talented. And Liam Keegan, who's also brilliant. And we went to lunch to meet and sort of share stories about music and get to know each other before we wrote together. And in the middle of lunch, Richie was telling a story about Bingo Bongo.
Right.
And when I write and I hear words that appeal to me, I'll see a visual, or I'll hear a note, or I'll see the letter really big in the air. So I heard bingo, and I just yelled out really loud, "Bingo, baby!"
Excellent.
It was just so silly and relaxed, and kind of the way our chemistry was. There was a great chemistry between all of us, when we were writing. I mean, we were really in sync, And so we said, "Oh my God, Ash, that's the song! That's the song, Bingo
Wow.
Baby!" I'm like, this is great. So we almost forgot to pay the check. We ran out of the restaurant, and we went back to Liam's studio in Liverpool. And I think we had another dance track that we already had started. We tossed it.
Right.
And we started a brand new one. And we were just going back and forth. And it was so high energy. And I think because it was one girl and two gentlemen, the song kind of evolved as a female kind of in charge in the spotlight, wearing her crown, kind of sexy thing, kicking it in her crown, like the lyrics. And I've got it, meaning she's the one, and you guys just you watch it over there. And then we kind of went back and forth, and it's a very sexy song. Let's just put it that way.
It certainly is. And after hearing your brand new single, I had to get you on the show straight away. Now, for listeners who are just finding your music, when did it all begin for you in the music industry?
Wow. So I've had so many different mini journeys and a long journey. And I mean, my most recent, I could just start with there, so if I went back to the very beginning, I was inspired by the ladies of the 70s when I was 8 and 9. And I played by ear, piano, and I wrote poems, and I was a self-taught songwriter, but at the moment I was a pianist. I did disco, and once I heard Donna Summer, that was it. I wanted to be a disco diva. That was my calling, any kind of dance music, really. Freestyle, EDM, new disco, 70s disco. And I actually had a show that I'd gotten a part in where I played Donna Summer's, I sang Donna Summer's track.
Right.
And it was like a disco touring show all over the U.S. And I wore a disco outfit, red tube top, red satin pants, and I was only 10, And it was kind of crazy, but that was it for me. That was it.
So it was a bit of Donna Summer and a bit of maybe Gloria Gaynor going on?
Oh my God, Gloria Gaynor, it's so funny you said that. So when Boys Cry in 1987, which was on Billboard, that was my really big break, I guess, as you would say in showbiz.
Yes.
And it was produced by Gloria Gaynor's producer, Joel Diamond.
Unbelievable.
Yes, you have an ESP with me going on today.
Certainly.
And so he gave me this song. I didn't write it. It was written by Peggy Stanziali and Victoria Shaw, who wrote Dress You Up for Donna. Right. And such a great song. Also, Effortless, we learned the song and recorded it in like 2 hours. That was it. And then it was like we put it out, and I didn't even know it was like, I always say it was a blur to the Billboard charts, because between the studio and charting just happened so fast, you know. So yeah, so then I did that with a bunch of other songs afterwards in the club charts in Europe, like Color Me Yours and This Kind of Love and Don't Take Back Your Love. And then I think, and those songs did well in Europe. I just kept going. Then I started writing. Then my journey of being a writer really became more serious to me.
Right.
And I started writing sad songs. And I went through a period of time where I was writing them, and I would perform them at little places, you know, little bars, and anyone who would have me.
Yes.
And I was very grateful. But it wasn't like, I didn't feel like it was my special sauce. I didn't feel illuminated. You know,
no, definitely not. You were a little bit like a bit of a trapped Barry Manilow, except the female version.
Right, that's so fun. Yeah,
because he used to play music in clubs, I believe, as a pianist, and sing all the slow songs and things like that. But then all of a sudden he started getting the disco going, and then he really, you know, totally changed his image, as it were, you know.
That's because there's something about it for some of us. It lights us up inside. And then we share that light with other people, you know, and it's so much better way for me to spend my time being lit up than being totally dim. You know?
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Have you always been a singer, or did you have any other professions before you did this?
No, I've always been a singer. I was classically trained when I was young. I was an opera singer, classically trained. So
right.
I can do all those notes. It just wasn't my passion to be in the opera, you know, but I was offered that idea, and I got into a bunch of opera programs in college. What was interesting is when I recorded Bingo Baby, when we did the vocals on it, I did the vocals back in Los Angeles, which is an amazing vocal producer I work with named Jackie's voice. He's amazing. And he just said, "You do your thing." He goes, "I'm not going to direct you on this one." I'm like, okay. Wow. And what I love about it is I got to let it out. Like the belting, the vibrato, because it's such a I don't want to say sexual, but sexy.
It's a sexy song, definitely.
Yeah, there's a primal feeling to it. And when I was performing it in the studio and getting into that feeling of how I wanted to send the message when I was singing, it felt very primal. And so I let all my vibrato out. And I loved it because I don't often do that in all my songs. Some of the producers I work with are like, "I know you want to put it out, Ash, but pull back." I'm like, okay.
Yes. Yeah, it certainly shines.
Pardon me, I'm so sorry.
It certainly shines through the song. Absolutely love it, which we'll be playing that a little bit later on. Now, is dance music something that you just fell into, or has it always been a passion?
You know, I think starting with when I was little and I did the Donna Summer shows, then I went into musical theater for a little while because I didn't have access to a lot of dance music. But so I do love musical theater as well. However, when I got Boys Cry, that big break, so to speak, at 17, which was yesterday, just kidding. Yeah. When I did that, it was just so natural for me, you know. And when I came back to it, and so in 2020, I started writing these, you know, disco songs again and putting them out, like "Come and Get Me," which was about love and lockdown. "Feel Your Fire," which is about seizing the moment, never letting the moment pass. I did a freestyle cover, because I was doing a lot of freestyle concerts in 2022 called Yo No Sé, which is a song that was really popular on Billboard back in the day.
Yes.
And I did that I opened for La Bouche in Mexico, in Peru, and I opened for Shannon and Karina and different people in Mexico City at the Pepsi Arena, which was amazing. So being in Mexico City and doing that freestyle genre for a little bit, being able to have a song that had a little Spanish in it, not being a Latin artist, yes. I felt like I was connecting and contributing something, albeit very small, but a feeling, and it had some great Latin American remixes on it too, which was really cool. So that part was good. Oh my God, I'm totally digressing. I'm sorry. So then Love Light Me Up, which was a turning point for me in April, a song I put out that was a musical turning point for me as a musician, because I thought about it and I mixed an old-fashioned orchestra feeling of Tom Jones' So Unusual.
Right.
And
Yes.
that
Unusual. Yeah.
with house music. And I like labeled it actually called Big Band House, BBH. And
Right.
and so that was like a big deal for me because that song, and the song's all about inspiration. That's illuminate me.
Yes.
Love light me up.
Love it.
I can't not illuminate me. I can't stop. So sorry. So yeah. So that song's a big deal. And I'm still like, that song was even charting in Switzerland like 2 weeks ago still. So and I did that song in Mexico City too. It's like you lift your arms into the air. And I even put a little kind of cool at the last minute, I put Love Light Me Up. I figured out how to translate it in Spanish.
Yes.
Diciendo mi amor. Like I did it in a way, and the Mexico City audience was like so, they felt like so connected because I was being able to speak the language for a little bit, and it was really cool. So anyway, so back to Bingo Baby. So yeah, so then when we did Bingo Baby, so now Bingo Baby, as a musical artist, I will tell you, it's very different than my other songs in the sense that it is so sexual.
Yes.
And so I was a little nervous because I'm very like, I'm usually like a teen.
Yes.
But I've never been so, right there in front saying it. So I was a little nervous. But the truth is, you can take from the song what you choose.
Exactly. And it's the same with any song, isn't it? You can pick up whatever you think the song is all about. That is what it's about.
and the truth is, it was like another growing experience for me to be able to expose my vulnerability of what it feels like to feel that raw, to feel that, to be open about that feeling, you know, and I'm not usually that way.
No.
So I like in the open, so it was a growing experience. So
I bet it was.
I'm sorry. I keep going and.
Yeah, I bet it was. But what I was going to mention is you were talking earlier there about a concert that you did, and you recently shared the stage at the World Trade Center in Mexico City for the I Love Dance tour with some of the greatest dance music acts of the 90s. And on stage with you were Jenny Berggren of Ace of Base, Wakefield, Dr. Alban, Crystal Waters, Real McCoy, Shavoni of Black Box, Sash and Max, to name but a few. What was it like sharing the stage with these global stars, as it looked like great fun? And of course, you were a global star, being in the Hot 100 there.
Oh, thank you. Well, it was the most incredible experience. Nothing is amazing like that kind of stage. That kind of energy. The Pepsi Arena is incredible.
It looked electric. I watched the videos.
It's electric.
Yeah,
that's how I would describe it.
I mean, I loved your performance of "Love Light Me Up" and "When Boys Cry." It looked absolutely magical. I loved your performance.
Thank you. It felt that way. I mean, when I was back in the wings before I went on, you just take a deep breath and you're going out, but it's like you feel bigger than the stage.
Yes.
That's how I visualize the feeling, so that I'm as if I'm like 100,000 feet tall and I'm bigger than it, and I'm scooping everybody in for a big hug.
Yes.
And
yes, it looked that way as well.
I take them all in so I can express my message to them through my voice and through my music. And I feel like, to me, that's kind of the ritual of when I go out there, and it's incredible. And everybody's so talented and everybody's so magical that the whole night, it's like whew, you don't know what the next day's like. I mean, it's like you can't get out of bed. You don't want to get out of bed because you want to go back to the stage.
Yes, because when I watched, because obviously the promotions team will send you so much information, but I always like to do a bit of research. And when I thought, well, I'm going to have a look to see where this Pepsi Arena is in Mexico City, see what it looks like, and maybe there's some videos there. And then, of course, I typed your name in there, Ashley Paul, and there you were there. But it really looked like, I'll tell you what it looked like. When you were in the arena there, it looked like it looked like a scene that you would see in maybe the 80s where there would be these massive concerts. You know what I mean? It had that kind of like magical vibe to it, and you could see it on the screen, you could feel it. I could like literally feel what you were feeling on the stage when you were singing, because you could see it in your face and things, and the audience, I mean, wow, it looked amazing.
Thank you. That's incredible that you saw that. Thank you for looking and taking the time, and that's exactly, you expressed it so exact to how it felt. It was like magic. It really was. And it's like, you don't want to get off the stage, when you have that, and you can't wait to go back and do it again. And, and it's those moments that make it worth it, that make, the hard stuff and sometimes the struggles and the waiting, hurry up and wait.
Yes. Of course. Now, you had several singles in the late 80s, early 90s, including the top 20 single When Boys Cry, Colour Am I Yours, This Kind of Love, Don't Take Back Your Love, and the Christmas single Dear Santa Claus. Is there a favourite song you like to perform in particular?
In general, or in my music?
I would say, what is it? Is there a particular song that you would go, I'm looking forward to singing this song tonight when I go on stage? Or are they all your favourites?
I mean, I love them all. I love singing Love Light Me Up.
Yes.
Because there's a feeling of that message of there's someone bigger, there's something bigger out there than us, guiding us, helping us, and, there's a plan, inspiration, destiny, all those things that guide me personally. And I feel like collectively when I'm singing that song, I'm in that moment, almost it's very spiritual, that song.
Yes.
And I love performing it. I love seeing people get into the, light me up part. That's amazing. I will tell you, I haven't performed Bingo Baby yet, and I'm really excited to do that. I'm planning a mini tour in the UK in the spring and summer, and that's going to be my first song out onto the stage. So
fabulous.
Really,
so that'll be spring, summer 2024. Watch out for Ashley Paul with Bingo Baby. Now, do you still perform Dear Santa Claus?
I actually haven't done any. It's funny you said that, because somebody gave me a Christmas song a couple weeks ago.
Right.
Of theirs. They wanted me to, if I wanted to record it. It was actually my producer, Joel Diamond from When Boys Cry, who produced Gloria Gaynor and Engelbert Humperdinck. He and I had lunch, and he said, I have a great Christmas song. He goes, I think it's a hit. He's like, you want to do it? And I'm like, sure, but I think it's too late for this Christmas.
Yes.
So I'll probably maybe go in the studio and do it for next Christmas. But no, nobody's really asked me Santa Claus or Santa Claus. That was kind of fun. It was my first record deal, and I did my first radio tour, like we're doing now.
Yes.
But I was like, I think I was 11 or 12. And gosh, only knows what I talked about. I don't even remember, but but it was, but I knew then how much I loved this.
Yes.
Kind of communication and everything about music, whether it's singing it, performing it, writing it, talking about it, listening to it, all of it.
That's where we've got the connection, you see, Ashley, me and you, because we love talking about music, and we'll just love the glitz and glamour of it all, don't we?
It's true, and I love the glitter and the glamour behind you, by the way. I love your
Thank you very
sign.
much. Well, you know what it is, Ashley? You are absolutely privileged because you are the first interview to have this background because I've just upgraded. So congratulations to you.
Thank you. No, I feel very humbled. It's beautiful.
In a brand new title sequence as well is going to go with this video as well. So you'll go, wow. Hopefully.
I absolutely love it. And then I'm trying to think. You know what's interesting? I just recently found this out. Just a little bit of trivia.
Yeah.
My mom's older sister, my Aunt Francine, she wrote a song for Petula Clark called "Where Do I Go From Here" that was out in the UK in 1959.
Wow, that is absolutely amazing, that.
Yeah. And so, I mean, she's not from the UK, but it's just so interesting because I feel I have such a kinship with the UK with my music and with, doing festivals and chatting with wonderful people like yourself. And she and I never spoke about it. And I recently found out. She said, "Oh, by the way, I never told you this." I'm like, "Oh." And so I looked it up. It's "Where Do I Go From Here?" And it's on one of Petula Clark's albums. And it's so interesting because so that's one interesting thing. And this new song that I'm writing right now, because I'm writing like 4 new songs right now.
Yes.
With 4 different people. I'm writing this one new song called "Insatiable." And I shouldn't tell you that, but it's my song. So I can only sing it my way. So if someone takes it, they take it. So I don't worry about those things. So "Insatiable" is kind of like a mixture of downtown.
Right.
Downtown. Oh, that's the best, right?
Love it.
And kind of mixed with disco. So it's kind of going to be like a disco, like a disco, and then a little bit of a house, and then you're going to have something really grand, like a downtown, But it's about the insatiability, the never being satisfied to live life.
I think it's something that we need in the world as well. Some kind of music like that. There's too much of the doom and gloom music.
No, I can't. I won't. I can't.
There's too many people with a guitar, and it's just like, I'll tell you what it is. I've always called it like folk music. It's the kind of thing that when I was growing up here in the United Kingdom, I would say that's the kind of thing that my grandma would listen to. Folk music. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's just that we're in 2023 and we need to have a bit of light shining, which is what you're bringing to us.
That's my message. Go to my page if you want to feel that light, that inspiration, because life is challenging, and like when we go to the music and we go to the inspiration and the art that makes us feel that, it takes us away, and it's so important. When I write a song, I build like a whole world inside my mind of characters and stories, and then I hear notes, and it's fantasy, but you know what? To me, it's real. And I'm sharing that with people who I hope will listen, and I hope it makes them smile.
They definitely will. Now, listeners may not know this, but you have appeared on many TV shows, including NBC's Another World, ABC's The Last Word, and USA Network's Dance Party USA. How did it feel being on TV away from making music?
Well, it's definitely, I enjoy it, but it's not like music for me. Like, I have to keep moving, and when you're making music, talking about music, performing music, you're moving, you're thinking, I have like 1,000 different, facets to my personality that I can bring out with my music. And I think it's amazing people who do TV and act, and they're so talented. But for me, I have enough characters inside my head.
Yes, apparently life is a stage, and we're all actors on the
Yes,
stage.
yes, we are. We really are.
Oh,
So for me,
indeed.
I love it. I mean, I'd like to be on TV, and if it's a medium that wants to talk about music, or talk about different kinds of art, or even important topics. Like
Yes.
I talk to a lot of women about not giving up, about finding their passion again and not letting it go, and not letting anybody tell them anything negative, and try to keep those positive thoughts
Yes.
and
Yes.
and move forward. No, it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what you're doing. If you want to do something, do it. Do
Exactly.
it today.
Yes, do it today, because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Nobody has. None of us are God.
No.
We can't say, oh, that person can't do this or that person can't. Who are we? If somebody wants to be like a rock collector when they're 89,
Yeah.
then they should do it.
Of
You know what I'm
course.
saying? I don't know where that came from, but I was just thinking about like nature. So, but my point is like, if a woman picks up a pencil,
Yeah.
70, and says, I want to write the great American novel, says she can.
Of course
You
you
know,
can.
Of course she can. And so I talk to a lot of women, who are on their own or have been in difficult situations and just want a friend.
Yeah.
Experience, because I've been there too, and say like no matter what, you can keep going one foot in front of the other. You just have to wake up and try.
Exactly. Yes, got to stay positive.
Yeah, stay positive.
Now back to the music, and the 90s connection is still there, as you now are working with Richie Neville, who was one of the key members of the UK pop group Five. What has it been like working on the new single Bingo Baby, and is this collaboration going to continue in the future?
So yes, amazing, and yes. So working with Richie, he is so talented as a songwriter. And I did not know him as a songwriter. I knew him as a musical artist.
Yes.
And as a singer, a performer. And so when we got together, his contribution in the studio was incredible. And it was effortless. So, I mean, he has a huge career as a songwriter in addition to being a singer and a performer. So it was wonderful. And he's so effortless, and it comes out creative. And so it's just a great sort of symbiosis to work with, because, when people are all creative and you put them in a room together, it's amazing what happens. Like even you and I right now with this conversation, I feel like we're going to blast off soon.
That's right with this.
Totally. So in that regard, to answer your question, it was wonderful working with him. I have so much respect for him as an artist and as a writer. And he's such he's such a fun person to be around. And he is quite easy on the eyes too, I shall say. I'm going to blush now, so I'm going to stop. Then, yes, we're doing another song together, for sure.
So your new single, Bingo Baby, featuring Richie Neville, it's a great dance track. And did you write it together, did you say?
Yes, we wrote it together. And also Liam Keegan wrote it too, did the dance track.
Oh, yes. And you've got quite a number of mixes there as well, which sound absolutely fantastic. I have had a listen to them all, and I absolutely love them to bits.
Thank you. I'm so glad that you like them.
Yeah,
They're
absolutely.
all different, Love Foundation is fantastic. Limits We Are is fantastic. Lewis Memorial is also fantastic. The Kigo remix is amazing. They're just all different, and I'm now, even the ones without a lot of vocals on them, for me as a singer, I think, but then I love them too, because it's the music that I helped write. So, that's just something, it's a new place, and I'm very proud.
Yeah, I love the Love Foundation mix. That's the one that we're playing on the radio, which is absolutely fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, they're amazing. I'm actually going to collaborate with them next year on a song.
Wow, that'll be excellent.
Yeah, which I'm really excited about. So, yeah, and I'm also collaborating with Karina
Right?
on the track and Melissa Manchester. So I have like I'm always writing, which is amazing. I love being able to do that.
Yes, and you're doing great with it as well.
You can't go to the Pepsi Center every day.
No.
So, I would if I could. I would if I could. But you can't, so you have to keep going. So you find your ways. Like, okay, I can't go to the Pepsi Center. I'm gonna wake up and write. I don't have anyone to talk about music with. I'm gonna wake up and write. Okay. So
You definitely need. Well, the tour definitely has to come to the United Kingdom, or I should say Great Britain, because I'm sure it'll go down a storm.
I'm so sorry I didn't hear what you said. Forgive me.
I was saying it would be great if the Isle of 90s kind of tour came to the UK, to Great Britain, because I'm sure they would love it.
I'm sure that would be amazing. We should talk about that. I have to talk to some of the powers that be about that.
Definitely, because it'll go down a storm. Definitely, I know that for sure. Now, I know it's going to do well, the single. And do you have any future music or tours you could tell us about?
Any future music?
Do you have any future tours or music that you could tell us about?
Yes, I have both. So 2 things. One thing is, I'm right now, not myself, but the agent is putting together Pride and festivals for me for the spring and summer in the UK 2024. So I'm really excited about that. I can't wait to get back there and perform. I'm planning on in February coming to the UK and writing with Richie, Neville again, and Liam. Maybe see if we could do something like maybe even a duet. Would be kind of cool. I also have another track coming out in February after Bingo called Ribbons. Ribbons are the colors of the night.
Sounds lush.
There's no limit bound together in the line. And it's about ribbons wrapping you up under the light in a disco with a lover, different colors. And silk and satin, no more black and white. We are ribbons dancing in the night.
Yeah, I love it.
Thank you. I wrote it with Damon Sharp. And he's amazing. He's amazing. Actually, my inspiration for that song was Roger Hammerstein's Hello Dolly.
Oh,
I don't know
yes.
if you're familiar with Hello Dolly, but there's a character in Hello Dolly named Eileen Malloy. And she owns a hat shop. And she's a very proper 1800s single woman who owned a hat shop, and she wrapped these ribbons, beautiful silk green ribbons around the hat. And so I always wanted to take that song, Ribbons Down My Back, this summer. I wanted to take that song and make it a disco song. And my team was like, no, write your own song. I'm like, okay. So I was like, where'd you go? Let's do that song. And I'm writing it, and I'm thinking, okay, Damon, we'll make it a sexy disco song, instead. And so that's how we came up with Ribbons. But the thing is, I was thinking in my mind, Eileen Malloy was like not this proper lady. She was really like this sexy goddess who like had men all in her hat shop, and like what was she really doing with her ribbons? And I had all these ideas in my head, and so Damon and I got together, and so we took the story and turned it into a dance track and turned it into a song. So that's next. I'm excited about that.
Excellent. And we'll look forward to playing that on the air as well in 2024. Now, on another note, let's go back in time and ask, what is your favourite vinyl record you have ever bought?
That's a hard question because I want to say something to Brampton, but
right.
But I think Diana Ross.
Diana Ross. So you'd like, what particular song would you like by Diana Ross? If you had a turntable next to you, what track would you?
I'm coming out.
You'd play I'm Coming Out. That's a great tune as well. We love that one. Coming out.
I want the world to know.
Gotta let it show.
That's how I feel sometimes. Like that's how I feel.
You definitely are with this single. I know that for sure. Now, Ashley, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. Please, could you introduce your latest single, Bingo Baby?
Hey, this is Ashley Paul, and I can't wait for you to listen to my new single by Richie Neville, Ashley Paul, and Liam Keegan. Bingo Baby. Bingo Baby.
Bingo. Now,
Bingo.
Ashley, all the best with the single, and maybe we can get Richie on the show in the future to talk about your next project with you. That would be excellent, wouldn't it?
Sure. I'll definitely let the powers that be know. Okay.
That's excellent. Well, thank you so much, Ashley, for joining me on the show, and all the best with Bingo Baby.
Thank you for having me. Have a good day.
No problem. You too. Take care now. Bye.
Take care.